Hey, what's happening, people? It's Ray here coming at you with a little bit of news today. So I got, there's been unconfirmed reports for a while now that Sony Interactive is working with Konami on doing something, reportedly Silent Hills, kind of Silent Hill reboot or whatever, given the history with PT and Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima now working closely with Sony Interactive. There is credence to the rumor. It's been nothing more than a rumor, though. But this past week, some user named Jack of All Controllers on 4chan. So right away, take it with a grain of salt because it was found on 4chan. But this thing is picking up steam, and everybody's picking it up. And I think a dose of it might be wishful thinking. I think a dose of it might be people just really wanting to see these titles return, and Konami's just sitting on them, and I think that's what's fueling a lot of the speculation currently. But basically what's going on is PlayStation had been rumored to be working with Konami on working on some PlayStation exclusive Silent Hill stuff, rebooting the franchise. So basically what's happened is now the rumor is saying Sony wants to acquire the properties, the IP, like this big IP raid going on at Konami, and Sony wants Castlevania, Metal Gear, and Silent Hill. Right off the bat, if you ask me, I think there's smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay, where there's smoke, there's fire. If it was just some random person on a forum pandering to people's wishful thinking, that I think that there would be people calling them out on it. But I think there's a fire somewhere here, and hear me out. This is why I think this. Bloodstained came out. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night came out to awesome fanfare last year. It was well received critically and by fans as well. I loved it. I had the Switch version of it. I loved it. And I'm a huge OG Castlevania fan. You give me a Castlevania game, I'll find a way to get a week or two out of it. You know what I mean? I just love those old games. Now, Koji Igarashi could be involved with that if they bring it in for Sony. I could see Ego working on that at a studio at Sony. I would love for Sony to fund some games from him, but that's a video for another time. He's such an incredibly gifted creator. Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill is what really anchors this to the ground as possibly being a thing. Why? Because Hideo Kojima now has a base of operations outside of Konami. He has his own studio. He is working closely with Sony Interactive. He's put out Death Stranding, which by many accounts from many people is one of the greatest games ever made. It is ambitious. It has a lot of depth to it. It really brought together all these different facets of entertainment. You had a world-renowned director in Guillermo del Toro. You had Norman Reedus. You had Mads Mikkelsen in it, and you had this great epic score, and you had this beautiful world, and then you have him. He's the father of Metal Gear. He was working on the PT demo, which is going to be Silent Hills, which was going to have Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro in it. They were working on. So there's all these things that are adding up to something possibly happening, and I really think it's a cool time to speculate on this because, man, think about this too. Konami's not doing anything with the Castlevania franchise. This Grimoire of Souls game, like, news about it supposed to come out this year or something like that, but like no one I know is even looking forward to this thing. The last thing they did was the Legacy Collection, and people thought that was going to lead to like a brand new game, and it didn't, and it was just, it's just been topsy-turvy, upside down with this franchise for years. One mobile game after this and that, and they did the Lords of Shadow, which got kind of panned, which I thought was okay, but as far as storyline goes, it was really not that great. And then you have Metal Gear. Now, Metal Gear, for those who may not remember, or whatever, in the early 2000s, when there was a new Metal Gear game coming out, it was appointment gameplay. There, there was a time when a Metal Gear game would be coming out, and you would just go reserve it. You know, I remember when Snake Eater was coming out, had to have it. Guns of the Patriots, Metal Gear Solid 4, PlayStation 3 coming out, gotta have it. You know, but then that was about the time when it started to kind of go downhill a little bit. Like people were getting disenfranchised with Metal Gear, and it was losing its way. And Metal Gear Survive that just came out was it. Like, if you loved it, great. To each their own. That game was garbage in my opinion. That was horrible. It didn't make any sense. The gameplay was terrible. I just think that, you know, they could have done better with it, and you could definitely tell that, you know, the franchise missed Hideo Kojima. Silent Hill, I was always a Resident Evil guy. I wasn't a Silent Hill guy, but I did enjoy the Silent Hills that I played. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a huge fan of it and I can't wait and all that kind of stuff. That's not true. That wouldn't be 100% with you all. But what I will say for 100% certainty is I know that it is a great franchise. I just never got into it. Just the people that love it, you can't deny that. Basically, at the end of the day, these are three big franchises, and it looks like, if the rumor is true, Sony Interactive wants to make these PlayStation exclusive titles. Man, if they were to land Castlevania, Metal Gear, and Silent Hill as PlayStation exclusive titles that they own, man, that'd be a big feather in their cap. I mean, every old school gamer would want a PlayStation 5. You know, I mean, that may be something they're thinking about. Anyway, what do you all think about that? I went a little long-winded, but it's really cool to speculate on because, and this is just a rumor, but there seems to be something to this rumor. So anyway, post your comments below. Smash the like button if you dug the video, man. If you're into it, I'm getting a lot more diverse to some of my content. I'm going to have a lot more just gaming news kind of stuff, things I see, classic stuff. I'm getting into some of the other franchises that I like now, making some videos for those, making some retrospectives, making some look backs, making some going back and doing some old reviews of older stuff, basically. So if y'all are into it, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everything, all the support, everything you all give me. And I will be back soon with another video. Until then, you all take it easy, stay safe out there, keep rocking, and be good to each other. And I will see you all in the next video.